ocean roared with ferocity as the USS Poseidon sliced through the turbulent waves, the storm above a mere whisper compared to the tempest brewing in the hearts of its crew. Inside the submarine, the atmosphere was thick with anxiety and anticipation, each crew member acutely aware of the gravity of their mission. Just 3 days prior, a scientific research fleet had vanished without a trace within the infamous Bermuda Triangle, a region synonymous with mystery and dread. The Pentagon had ordered this investigation, and Captain Mark Reynolds felt the weight of his orders like an anchor dragging him into the depths of uncertainty. As the Poseidon descended, the submarine's hull creaked under the immense pressure of the ocean, the dim lights flickering ominously. The crew exchanged glances, a silent acknowledgement of the peril that lay ahead. The radar screens began to glitch, the signals warping into chaotic patterns, while the compass spun wildly, defying any semblance of direction. Tension crackled in the air, a palpable fear that clawed at their throats. "Steady, everyone," Mark commanded, his voice steady despite the rising panic. He focused on the screens, trying to make sense of the chaos. Just then, a blinding blue light erupted outside the viewport, illuminating the dark waters like a celestial beacon. The crew gasped, eyes wide in disbelief as they beheld a colossal triangular object hovering amidst swirling energy vortices. This was no ordinary vessel. It was a UFO pulsating with an otherworldly glow, a sight that would etch itself into their memories forever. "Looks like we have uninvited guests," Lieutenant Carter shouted, his voice laced with both excitement and fear. Before Mark could respond, the submarine's control systems abruptly failed, plunging them into a disorienting silence. Then, a voice echoed in Mark's mind, resonating with an authority that made his skin crawl. "You have trespassed into our prohibited zone. Return if you wish to avoid consequences." The words reverberated through him, not as sound, but as a profound intrusion into his consciousness. He felt a wave of images crash over him, overwhelming and vivid. Enormous structures lying submerged beneath the ocean, towering beings with silver skin, and a gigantic swirling portal that seemed to consume everything nearby. The realization struck him like a lightning bolt. The Bermuda Triangle was not merely a stretch of water steeped in legend. It was a cosmic gateway, a transit station for beings from beyond the stars. The implications were staggering, a truth that had eluded humanity for centuries. Before he could process this revelation, an immense gravitational force gripped the Poseidon, yanking it deeper into the abyss. Panic erupted among the crew as the blue light enveloped the control room, blinding them. Mark gripped the console, his heart racing, as the world around them twisted and turned, reality warping in a kaleidoscope of colors and sensations. When the light finally receded, they opened their eyes to a sight that defied all comprehension. They were no longer submerged in the Atlantic. Instead, they floated in the infinite void of space, surrounded by a magnificent extraterrestrial city that sparkled like a field of stars. Towers of shimmering metal reached toward the cosmos, their surfaces reflecting hues of blue and green, while strange vehicles zipped through the air, defying the laws of physics as they darted between the structures. Mark's mind raced, grappling with the impossibility of their situation. They had crossed a threshold, entering a realm that existed beyond human understanding. The crew was silent, awestruck by the beauty and strangeness of their surroundings. Each member of the team felt a mixture of fear and wonder, as if they had stumbled upon a hidden truth that was never meant for their eyes. "Captain, what do we do?" Carter finally broke the silence, his voice a mix of trepidation and curiosity. Mark turned to face his crew, their faces illuminated by the ethereal glow of the alien city. "We need to understand why we're here," he replied, his voice steady despite the chaos swirling within him. "We've been brought here for a reason, and we need to find out what that is." As they floated in this surreal landscape, a sense of purpose began to crystallize in Mark's mind. They were not just witnesses to an alien civilization. They were participants in a cosmic narrative that transcended time and space. The Bermuda Triangle was a nexus, a point of convergence for beings from countless worlds, and they had become part of that story. Suddenly, a figure emerged from the shimmering city, gliding toward them with an elegance that defied gravity. The being was tall and slender, its skin a luminous silver that seemed to absorb and reflect the light around it. Its eyes were large and expressive, filled with a depth of knowledge that sent shivers down Mark's spine. As the being approached, an overwhelming sense of peace enveloped the crew, calming their racing hearts. "Welcome, travelers of Earth," the being spoke, its voice resonating in their minds like a soothing melody. You have been chosen to witness the convergence of realities. The Bermuda Triangle serves as a portal, a bridge between worlds, and you have crossed into a domain of understanding that few have ever known. Mark felt a rush of emotions, a mixture of awe and fear. "Why us? What do you want from us?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. The being regarded him with a gaze that seemed to pierce through the fabric of his being. "You are here to learn, to understand the interconnectedness of all existence. The disappearance of your fleet was not an accident. It was a calling, an invitation to explore the boundaries of your reality." As the being spoke, images flooded Mark's mind once more, this time revealing the history of the Bermuda Triangle. He saw ancient mariners, their ships swallowed by the sea, and explorers who had ventured too close to the portal, their fates intertwined with the cosmic tapestry. He witnessed civilizations rising and falling, all connected through this enigmatic gateway, each thread weaving into the larger narrative of existence. "You have been chosen because you possess the capacity for understanding," the being continued. "The knowledge you gain here will ripple through time, shaping the future of your world. But with this knowledge comes responsibility. You must choose how to share what you have learned." Mark felt the weight of those words settle in his chest. The implications were staggering. They were not merely witnesses, but bearers of a truth that could alter the course of humanity. The crew exchanged glances, each grappling with the enormity of their situation. "What happens now?" Carter asked, his voice trembling with a mix of excitement and fear. The being gestured toward the city, and Mark felt an urge to explore, to uncover the secrets hidden within its shimmering walls. "You will be guided through our domain, and you will witness the wonders of our civilization. But remember, the knowledge you gain is a gift and a burden. Use it wisely." As they followed the being into the city, Mark felt a sense of exhilaration and dread. Each step took them deeper into a world that defied all logic, where the laws of physics seemed to bend and twist. They passed through corridors adorned with symbols and glyphs, each one pulsating with energy, as if alive with the essence of the universe. They entered a grand hall, its ceiling stretching into infinity, filled with a kaleidoscope of colors that danced like stars. In the center of the hall stood a massive crystalline structure, radiating a brilliance that illuminated the entire space. The being gestured toward it, and Mark felt an inexplicable pull, as if the crystal held the answers to questions he had yet to ask. "This is the Nexus," the being explained. "It holds the collective knowledge of countless civilizations, a repository of wisdom waiting to be shared. You may seek answers here, but be prepared for the truth may challenge your perceptions." Mark stepped forward, heart racing with anticipation. As he reached out to touch the crystal, a surge of energy coursed through him, flooding his senses with visions and revelations. He saw the interconnectedness of all life, the delicate balance that held the universe together. He witnessed the rise and fall of civilizations, their destinies intertwined like the strands of a cosmic web. But amid the beauty, he also saw darkness, the consequences of knowledge misused, of power wielded without understanding. He felt the weight of responsibility settle on his shoulders, a burden that would shape his actions long after he returned to Earth. "Remember, Captain," the being's voice echoed in his mind, "knowledge is a double-edged sword. Use it to uplift, to unite, and to heal. The fate of your world lies in your hands." As the vision subsided, Mark stepped back, breathless and overwhelmed. The crew stood in silence, each processing the magnitude of what they had witnessed. "Are we ready for this?" Carter finally asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Mark looked around at his team, each member a pillar of strength and courage. They had ventured into the unknown together, and now they had a choice to make. "We didn't come here by accident," he replied, his voice steady. "We have a responsibility to share what we've learned, to help our world understand the truth." The being nodded, a look of approval in its luminous eyes. "Your journey is only beginning. You will return to your world, but you will carry the knowledge of the cosmos within you. The Bermuda Triangle will always be a part of you, a reminder of the infinite possibilities that exist beyond your understanding." With that, the being gestured once more, and the world around them began to shimmer and fade. The crystalline structure dissolved into a cascade of light, enveloping them in a warm embrace. When the light receded, they found themselves back in the control room of the Poseidon, the submarine floating serenely in the depths of the ocean. The storm above had calmed, the waters tranquil once more. Mark glanced at the radar, which now displayed a clear signal, the compass steady once again. They had returned, but the experience had irrevocably changed them.
Report!
Mark commanded, his voice firm as he regained his composure. The crew sprang into action, their movements efficient and purposeful. As they assessed their systems, Mark felt a sense of clarity wash over him. They had witnessed a truth that transcended their understanding, a cosmic narrative woven through the fabric of existence. As they surfaced, the sun breaking through the clouds, Mark looked out at the horizon, the vast ocean stretching endlessly before them. The Bermuda Triangle, once a source of fear and mystery, now glimmered with the promise of knowledge and connection. They had crossed the threshold into the unknown, and now they carried the weight of that knowledge. The fate of humanity lay before them, a canvas waiting to be painted with the colors of understanding and unity. In that moment, Mark knew they would share their story, not as mere witnesses, but as ambassadors of a truth that could change the world. The Bermuda Triangle was not just a gateway to the cosmos. It was a reminder of the infinite possibilities that lay within each of them, waiting to be explored. And as they sailed back toward their world, the ocean shimmered beneath the sun, a reflection of the vast mysteries still waiting to be uncovered. The journey had only just begun,